Each year since 1991, the Environmental Stewardship Award Program, also known as ESAP, recognizes our nation's best operations for their outstanding stewardship practices and conservation achievements. These regional and national winners are honored for their commitment to protecting the environment, all while operating profitable cattle operations across the nation. Let's take a closer look at the 2020 Region 4 winner out of Oklahoma.
Not long after sunrise on the tall grass prairie of the Double C Cattle Company, the Coffey family is working together to move a group of their cows and calves past the wind towers that dot the landscape on their ranch.
This land is able to produce enough beef, enough electricity, and enough water to supply close to 70,000 homes. And I think that's pretty neat for 30,000 acres right here in nowhere, Oklahoma. Myself, my wife Ruth, and our 3 children, Aaron, Seth, and Sarah, all manage Double C Cattle Company, located in the Arbuckle Mountains in southern Oklahoma. We run about 1,000 commercial spring calving cows.
We really value land, livestock, and legacy. Those are our 3 most important words, pretty much, for the Double C Cattle Company.
While building the family cattle operation, Chuck spent many years as a range and pasture consultant with the Noble Research Institute. With that experience, he's skilled at identifying what the land needs and implementing the practices that will improve all the resources.
Our family has put in probably up to 50 miles of fence, separating pastures so we can rotationally graze the cattle.
They understand the land. They understand the interactions between the cattle, the plants, the soils, the environment. The way, the Coffeys actually utilize this land, beef cattle are a strong component of the outcomes that you see today. It's through the grazing management, rest, recovery, knowing how long to recover these native grasses, knowing how to manage that so that you have that desired effect that you expect can be achieved. And it is through grazing management that occurs.
At the end of the day, we're grass farmers, and that's what we want to be. And when you see that in a native grassland setting, there's nothing more rewarding.
One major battle the Coffey family fights on their land: invasive trees that can crowd out all other plant life.
We consider red cedar a scourge in this part of the country.
The problem with cedar trees, they drink lots of water, they destroy all the ground underneath, and then they create areas of erosion. Sometimes it'll be an eastern red cedar forest, and you get absolutely nothing out of it as far as grazing, or the wildlife can't use it, people can't use it.
To control eastern red cedar, and a lot of the cedar we have is also ash juniper, but to control it, we do it primarily through fire. These grasses actually evolved under fire and grazing, so it's something that's healthy and needed for an ecosystem like this.
Through prescribed fire, we've noticed several benefits that are clear and evident to us every day. So it's extremely encouraging for me to go across the pastures, and especially pastures that I've burned, because I can look at places where there was no grass and now there is grass. That to me is just Mother Nature saying you're doing the right thing.
In addition to using fire and mechanical methods to restore the tall grass prairie, the Coffeys have expanded the water system on their land, installing solar-powered pumps so cattle can reach water in more places on the ranch.
Water is a limiting factor on this property, so we've done a lot of development with solar wells to help with grazing distribution.
I would definitely say the proudest thing that I have found with what my dad has done has been the water development here. It's really changed the way we've been able to manage our cattle and graze cattle more efficiently on different sides of the pasture that we've not ever been able to get cattle over there because we don't have available water.
Always willing to share what they've learned about stewardship with other ranchers and their community, the Coffeys aim to manage all the elements of their ranch as one interconnected system. The result is improved grasslands, healthy streams, and a cattle operation that is sustainable for the land and their family legacy.
For me, stewardship is going to be taking care of this land in a way that my ancestors can be proud of, my kids are going to be proud of, and our community that we live with and interact with every day can be proud of. I definitely would say at this point in my life, since I have a son now, I think of more of the legacy. It doesn't really hit home to you what's going to happen next until you have a kid. And then you learn, you're not going to live forever. And this little guy right here is coming up next.
Stewardship is taking care of the land. I believe that if we can be good stewards and care for it while we're here, it'll be in good shape for the next generations.
We don't look at it that we own the land. We look at it as if we're blessed to have the privilege to manage the land during the short time that we're here, because it'll be here long after we are.
If you'd like to find out more about the Environmental Stewardship Award winners, see photos and videos, or even learn how to nominate someone for this award, visit the website environmentalstewardship.org.